future Dana. I was gonna bring you a cup of tea, but current you doesn't drink tea, so we drink from this giant mason jar. A few days ago, Sam asked if this was a normal size mason jar, and I'm just small. My hands are small, but my head is pretty big. So, how are you doing? How's the world? How's Illinois? You've been quarantined for 2 months now. It's May 13th, and you got back from Spain March 14th. Pi Day! So it's been a while, and Pritzker recently announced a 5-phase plan to return to normalcy. Does it work? I know a lot of states are opening back up right now, and their numbers are going up, so I don't really see how that math works out, but now that everything is over where you are, was there another peak? Is it because of all of those people throwing corona parties? Do people's perspectives change? Do they take it more seriously? Is Spain okay? Because they opened back up and I feel like it's too early for that. I hope everyone is okay. Currently, all of your family and friends are okay. Your friends from study abroad who decided to stay in Madrid, they're all okay so far. I hope that continues to be. What have you done during quarantine? Have you painted your walls? Mom keeps talking about repainting the walls, but I don't know if we'll ever get to it. But it would be cool because on Zoom you can do a virtual background, but the wall is yellow and you're yellow, so then it's just a mass of hair and eyes, which is very fun, but like it would be cool to have a virtual background. You were also going to TA for one of your favorite professors, and he's been teaching this class for years, but for some reason this year he's not teaching it and you just got notice, and now you're very sad. You're sad that you can't TA for this class, but you're also sad that your friends won't be able to have him as a professor for this class, because he's so wonderful! I'm sure the new professor will also be awesome. Is fall 2020 semester happening on campus? Originally, you said if it was online, you were going to take the semester off, but at this point, you've committed to too many things, so... But I hope fall 2020 happens on campus, because current you has a lot of plans for how I want to tackle fall 2020. How's the planet? How's the environment? Because there are a lot of memes saying, oh, nature is returning, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people are also using disposable masks and gloves, and a lot of grocery stores aren't allowing you to bring your own reusable bags. Not the case here yet. So there's a lot of plastic being thrown away, and I hope everything is okay. Last week you held a Zoom open house. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. I hope you planned another one by now. It was a little last minute. I only gave people like a less than 48-hour warning, but so many people showed up. It was so amazing. I'd say like 25 to 30 people showed up, and it was so awesome to reconnect with people that you hadn't talked to in years. There were people who came all the way from elementary school to middle school to high school to university, your summer internship in New Jersey, your study abroad friends. Oh my gosh. It was just people from all around the world and all throughout your life, and the worlds were colliding, and it was so awesome. And you talked to people you hadn't talked to in forever, and a lot of them are doing really amazing things with their lives, and it's just crazy. Like, obviously people's lives move on even when I'm not there, but it was just wild to see how drastically their lives changed and what they're doing now and what they're planning to do, when the last time I talked to them was like 6th grade, when we were talking about what our parents allowed us to pack in our lunches. You even had games planned if the conversation dulled, but it never did, thanks to Sam, Natalie, and Julian. They were there almost the entire time, basically the entire time. They were your anchors, they were always there, and Julian was doing a really good job at being very social and making sure everyone was talking, including everyone, and those 3 people, they were just bouncing off people's conversations, you know, being the wonderful social people they are, and it was super fun, and I hope you've planned another one by now after finals are over, and giving people a further ahead warning. I hope you continue talking to the people you reconnected with, and more people come to the next Zoom. What a wonderful event. It gave you something to do, because you're pretty bored. You don't really have much to do. Your classes ended April 30th because of the Sapiens Spain Study Abroad program. So your days have been filled with not much. You read a lot. Do you still read? You don't take walks very often, although you probably should, because you're not moving and you're just eating, so You've been waking up at 9 a.m. for the past 2 weeks, except for yesterday when the Wi-Fi was down and Google Home doesn't know how to keep track of time. I hope you're still maintaining a healthy sleep schedule and this carries on into the school semester. That would be great. You just finished the Cruel Prince trilogy, and oh my gosh, it was so amazing. After you finished the last book, you spent like half an hour scrolling through fan art because it was just so beautiful, and you want to be absorbed in the world, and you want there to be a movie, but you also know that the movie won't live up to your imagination, so you don't want there to be a movie. Also, it's such a wonderful story that you want it to continue on forever, but you know that it'll probably ruin it if it goes on too long, so like, the third book ended very beautifully, and you're just accepting it as is. But, oh, what a wonderful series, and you want everyone to read it, and especially Ariel to read it, because Ariel said he likes fantasy, so I hope that once libraries open up and stuff, you're forcing the books into his face. It was such a wonderful series, and you didn't think that you would like fantasy books, because you've been reading a lot of, like, real-life books. Go watch your book video if you want to know what books you started with. Speaking of that video, you kind of hated editing that video because you're not a very eloquent human and you suck at segues, but you loved animating it and you're very proud of your animations. I hope you're still proud of your animations. Those were very cute. But you are trying to become a more eloquent human and speak more deliberately. It might help if you don't talk so fast, but you also like talking fast, so current you hasn't figured out a balance. I hope my speaking skills improve throughout the year through student government and things like that, but current you is not very good at talking, and you're also very bad at... You also really struggle finding the right words, maybe because you didn't read books as a child. During a meeting, I was trying to explain something, and I was like, oh, if someone doesn't... the word that is, like, not approve, like, the opposite of accept... not reject, but there's another word that's like student government-y and blah blah. And then Cody came in and said, object. Yeah, that word, object, yes. You couldn't think of that. Also, you were talking to Cody and said something, oh, I have a rejection, repulsion. There's some kind of jeune word that I can't think of right now, but like, I have a towards this thing. And then he was like, aversion. You've determined that throughout the next school year, Cody is just going to pop up whenever you can't remember a word and let you know, because his brain works and yours doesn't. Anyways, hopefully your vocabulary and the speed of your brain is a little better since you've been reading books, but maybe it's too late, maybe you're too old. You have been reading A Very Large Expanse of the Sea, and okay, you started it not a while ago. You started it when you finished the Cruel Prince series, so like last week. But you've been reading it very slowly considering the fact that you love this book. And I think it's because for Cruel Prince it was very like action-y and you wanted to finish it as soon as possible and figure out what happens and like speed through it. So you read the third book in a single day. But for A Very Large Expanse of the Sea, I love this beginning part and I love her and I relate so much to a lot of what she's saying, and I just don't want it to end, and I want to draw this out, and I just keep rereading, like, oh my gosh. Even from the first page, I fell in love with it, and I just want everybody to read, like, the first 20 pages, which goes by super quick, and they're gonna want to read the rest of the book. It's just so awesome, and I hope that the rest of the book is just as awesome. I mean, it was in the top 10 of This Story Ain't Over's, and you trust her opinion completely because all of her other recommendations you completely loved, which you excluded to mention the fact that Less, the book that you abandoned, was not recommended by Jananie, so that kind of shows. And now you're only going to trust Jananie. She is your light, and you're only going to read books that she recommends. That's your current plan. I'm definitely glad I bought this book so I can force it into people's faces, like I previously said. It's just about her going through high school with all of these kind of ignorant people, and she just assumes that they all hate her. But she discovers more and makes friends and finds good humans in the world. Speaking of good humans, how has the world changed? A lot of people are saying that this pandemic is going to change how we behave for a while, and it's going to affect the economy for a while, which, okay, economy, sure. But I have a hard time believing that the social behaviors will change. I feel like after a few months pass, people will just be like, oh my gosh, remember when we were like stuck inside for 5 months? That was wild. Oh my gosh, what a time. And they won't really care. I would like to believe that people will live with more appreciation and more gratitude and continue strengthening the bonds with other humans, but let me know. How does this pandemic change the world? The traveling and how we interact with people. Oh, traveling. Yana, your roommate in Spain, was talking about how she was very excited that flight prices are probably going to go up and people are going to fly less because it's bad for the environment. And she's very excited for people to fly less. Well, I hope you see this soon. I hope Out of Quarantine Dana exists only a short amount of time away. All of these states opening back up is a little, but hopefully everything turns out okay. Hopefully people know what they're doing. Okay, well, see you soon, hopefully. Bye-bye!